Hey everyone, it's Argonath here from The Right Way, and got a good news story today. I don't know if you've heard or been following the news about the little 4-year-old girl in Australia who disappeared. Well, in fact, she was kidnapped, but they have now found her safe and well. What an amazing story, and all thanks to the amazing work of the Australian police. So, a man has been arrested over Cleo Smith's disappearance in Australia and was known to the police. So, she's been missing for 19 days. Imagine that, a little 4-year-old girl missing for 19 days, locked up in a house somewhere. She must have been terrified, but it looks like she's been found reasonably well, and hopefully the ordeal isn't going to have too many lasting scars on her. So if you haven't heard about the details, let's go through them. A man was arrested by police after 4-year-old Cleo Smith was found alive and well inside a Carnarvon home in Western Australia early on Wednesday, and he was known to police, the detective said. He is known, but I have to be very careful around that, Wild said when he was questioned by reporters. Ooh, looks like there might be something there, so maybe this guy has been known to maybe done something similar to this before, maybe not done exactly the same thing, but if you get my drift, he might have a kind of a liking to the younger generation possibly, but I guess we'll find out in time. So just really hoping that nothing's happened to this little girl in the meantime. The missing 4-year-old girl who disappeared from her family campsite on October 16 was found inside a locked home at Carnarvon just before 1 a.m. local time, ending an intensive 2.5-week police search. Claire was inside the home alone, and a 36-year-old man was arrested nearby. Police said he had no connections to Cleo's family. So what a completely appalling thing for the parents to have gone through to find that their child was just kidnapped from the campground that they were in, from their tent. So I don't know how this guy managed to get to the tent and take this little girl without waking anyone up. It's no fault of the parents at all. So I believe there's been some bad things said in social media about the parents. Social media is just crap these days, isn't it? I mean, geez, the thing that goes on in there. So he said Claire was found in a bedroom at the house she was being kept in, and police were expecting to lay charges in the investigation later on Wednesday. The detective, who was one of the 4 officers who rescued Claire, says his initial reaction was shock, quickly followed by elation, as I'm sure you would. To see her sitting there in the way that she was, it was incredible. He said it was an honour to be able to witness the reunion of Cleo and her family. She said so much energy. He said Claire was very trusting and open with all the police, so then that might explain something about how the guy managed to get her away, although probably it was in the middle of the night when she was taken, so she was probably just asleep and she didn't even realise that she was being kidnapped. But of course, all 4-year-olds are very trusting people, aren't they? Geez, just incredible what this family has had to go through. His parents were all overjoyed, absolutely overjoyed at the good news this morning, and so happy that Claire has been reunited with her mum and dad. Stain said in the statement, "Thank you to everyone who helped look for her and bring her home, particularly the Western Australia Police, SES, I don't know what that means, and the Carnarvon community." Big thanks for the police. They've spent so much time looking for this girl and spent so many hours of police and detective time. We need to give police some bouquets when they deserve it, obviously, and this is one of those particular occasions. We cannot live without the police. There are a lot of people saying that we can. We need the police because they will help us in these sorts of situations. Western Australia Police Commissioner Chris Dawson said a crucial lead about a car had led police to the house where Claire was found. "We followed every lead we could. We had some important information. I can say that the information about a car was really important," he told radio station 6PR. Cleo was in a locked home when she was found and told one of the officers who picked her up, "My name is Cleo." Western Australian Commissioner Cole Blanche said the body cam footage of Cleo Smith's overnight rescue would be burned in his memory for life, as of course you would. I saw detectives see Cleo in the room, look on their face and the care that was expressed immediately in the cuddling, and looking almost directly at the camera saying, "My name is Cleo." Oh, that's so cute. I'm so happy that she's been found, and it looks like she's relatively safe as well. Um, what else? Other news have we got in here? That's all just kind of normal stuff. Criminologist, Associate Professor Xanthi Mallet told police deserved to be applauded over their successful end to a very complex investigation. There was a lack of technological help. There weren't any CCTV cameras. There were no dashcam footage on people's cars. It wasn't suburbia, for example. So basically, police had to go back to the old-fashioned style of policing and investigating, just getting any leads that they could, following up on all those particular leads in person. What an amazing piece of investigation by the police. The police have lots of persons of interest to look at. Anyone in the campsite, anyone with family travelling there, anyone with relevant criminal history in the local community. There were lots of leads to follow up in the early days. You can imagine there would have been a huge amount of leads that they had to follow up with, because there must have been lots and lots of people who were possibly suspects for that. She shared police had opted for the right course in bringing on a large task force early. They learnt some of the mistakes from other child abduction cases from here and abroad, and determined not to allow that to happen in Cleo's case. The fear was that Cleo would be the next William Tyrrell or next Madeleine McCann. We would never find out what happened. Mallet also slammed online trolls who targeted Cleo's family in the wake of her disappearance, saying this kind of pressure could break a family apart. It puts them under pressure day in and day out, with everyone looking at them. This is the thing about social media. They have no evidence of anything, and they just go after anyone they feel like could be the perpetrators or whatever. That's just ridiculous. So if you're one of those people, that is just absolutely not on. Please don't do that in the future. Wait till the investigation is finished before you start to apportion blame on anyone else. She said if it was found that Cleo had been abducted, it was extraordinary that she had been kept alive for so long. She's obviously been fed and given water and kept physically safe for the last 19 days. That is not to speak of any psychological trauma as a result of being taken away from a family. If a child is taken, the likelihood of them being found safe and well diminishes over time, and the first few hours are key to finding them. This is really going to test all of the behavioural knowledge we have of these types of offenders. Well, I don't know. It might have been just a one-off thing, right? You can't just chuck away all your previous science because of this one case. If there's a more of a pattern of this kind of thing appearing, then yes, of course. But I think it could have been just a one-off thing. And it could be that this guy was just trying to keep her safe and well. And then maybe later on, when she was a bit older possibly, he might have his way with her possibly, we don't know. Or maybe he just wanted to have a child to look after because he couldn't have one of his own. It'll be really interesting to find out what his reasons actually were. Anyway, I'm not going to carry on with the rest of it. It's just kind of all normal stuff. You can read through the article. There's lots of articles on this on the internet. So let me know what you think. I'm sure that we're all happy that she's alive. Do you have any comments to make about the perpetrator? Or if you have any initial thoughts about him, it'd be interesting to see your comments. Any comments about the police is also welcome. If you want to give the police a bouquet, then it'll be very good to mention those in the comment section as well, because I think the police do deserve all the praise that they get for this particular investigation. Anyway, give it a thumbs up if you like the video. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give it a thumbs down, notwithstanding the content of the video. And if you like my content, please subscribe, as it just helps YouTube to notice my content. Anyway, hopefully I'll catch you in the next recording.